Hi everyone, welcome back to another scrapbook layout video and thank you for joining me again today. Today I am following very loosely this sketch by Laura Whitaker, and I can't remember the date, but I just showed it in the screen in case you're interested. I believe all of hers are free. I am not sure if you can still access them on her blog or not, but yeah, anyways, I basically just kind of got the idea of where to put the photos and some of the papers, but I think she just has a couple strips of pattern paper behind her photos. And so just like a lot of other sketches, I'm basically going to take that as a jumping point and go from there. And I'm going to find different papers. So for example, this strip of, the border strips paper that you can cut them shorter. I wanted to use some of these and they weren't the same size as what was on the sketch, so I pretty much just started cutting away different papers to different lengths, and I'm going to just add them all on there. I am cutting them all. I am using the Cocoa Vanilla You Rock collection again. I have to apologize because in a past video I said that I thought my little scrapbook store could still get this collection. I am not sure if she can still get this collection, but Cocoa Vanilla also has two more boy collections. The most recent one is called Legendary, and it is just as great of a boy collection. So if you are interested and are liking the Cocoa Vanilla, then check those out. Again, I will still leave a link below to my little scrapbook store in the comments below. And if there's something else that you don't find on her website that you think you might be interested in, you can reach out to her. She is fairly good at being able to get things and replying. And she's a little busy right now because she's moving, but she's a great person. So anyways, I had these two 4x4 photos, and these are of my son when he was in kindergarten. And for the first few days of school, I've always walked the kids into the school. And these are not taken on the same day, but I'm going to just put them in there as 2015. And I usually give the kids 2 or 3 days, and then I ask them, hey, are you ready to walk in on your own? And the cars, they have the drive around, and you can drop them off and pull them, just pull up to the curb and drop them off. I wasn't really sure how he was going to do with it, but he did just fine. He was totally ready. He started to do it. And the reason I love it is because you can see in the picture on the right-hand side, he is waving goodbye. So for the longest time, he would turn around and just the cutest little wave goodbye. He always had to make sure to wave goodbye to me. And it was just so sweet. So I decided one of the days I had to snap a picture of that. So as far as the width of these papers, I really am not measuring anything. I'm just cutting them down. I'm making sure they're not the same length. I'm making sure that, some go to the right-hand side a little more, some go to the left-hand side, and that none of them really go the same length. Playing around also with colors. I'm trying to add in, different colors. I did take that orange strip, and since it had that natural arrow design already on it, I just kind of added the edges to that arrow, and it turned out really cute. You can't really tell, but it is just another little bit of interest to the page. Then I'm going to take this blue striped one. It looks kind of gray in the video, but it's actually like a teal blue. And I wanted to tuck it underneath. I didn't want it to be as long, so I'm just trying to tuck it underneath. So I'm just bending the paper a little bit so I can get it under that orange paper. And then when I was putting everything together, I saw this little ruler piece that had come from the 12 by 12 cut apart sheet. So I don't know if you remember in the past videos, I cut apart one of the 12 by 12s, one of the pieces that has all the different sizes of cut aparts, and that ruler was part of it. And I thought it went really well with the whole theme since I am dropping him off at school, and it just looked really good there in it because it just flowed with all the strips. So I'm doing a single page today, which I don't do a whole lot of single pages, but I do love to do the occasional single page, and I'm absolutely so happy with how this one came out. I did ink all my edges with my black Close to My Heart ink. I cut most of that out just to save a little bit of time so you guys don't have to sit there and watch me inking a bunch of edges. Now I'm going through my scraps because I felt like the top needed a little something. I was hopefully going to use a scrap, but I felt like it just needed something, and then I decided I thought a strip of these blue arrows would look really good, but the only scraps that I had were shorter and I wanted a longer one, and I could have put two pieces together to make it look like one full one, and eventually it does get covered up a little bit, but I don't care. Like I said, I have plenty of this paper. I'm not going to save this paper, so I decided to just go ahead and put the arrows down. And same thing with this one, I wanted to tuck it kind of behind this other piece of paper with all the words. When I put that other piece of paper down, I knew some of the words were getting covered up, but what I tried to make sure was, like, there's the Play All Day and You Rock and the Rad. I just tried to make sure that those were kind of all level across so that it looked like it was kind of like the same height all across. So then I tried these washi. I wish more companies would do these washi tape strip sheets, because you guys know me, I don't like washi tape. I don't purchase the 500 million mile rolls of washi tape because it takes forever to use them, and by the time you get to use them, a lot of them don't even work. They stick to each other, they're not sticky, but these sheets I love because you get just a little bit of each thing. So I added a couple of the washies. One was kind of the same ruler up there, but it's see-through, so that just worked out. And then I took the black one, and I do cut a lot of these washi strips in half just to make them thinner, because I do prefer thinner washi tape if I am going to use it. So I added those down. I glued the title down with some very old thickers, and it's just called Growing Up because, like I said, I wasn't sure how he was going to do with the whole, he's my youngest one and he's growing up, and, just that's the title I chose. How about that? And then there was one of the cut apart sheets, or the border strip cut apart sheet. You can see there was this row of tags, and I thought I would try it, not realizing that I would really like it as much as I did, but I tucked one in behind or in front of that circle piece that I'd put there, and I actually really liked the way that turned out, so I went ahead and left that there. And I'm going to play around with this other tag to kind of bring the tag theme over to this side, but that other tag, I think it was the chipboard. It was just too thick and heavy for that side. However, I did get that camera piece, and I don't know, again, it was chipboard, but it looked a little, you'll see when I glue it down finally in that left-hand cluster. And I'm going for a top left to bottom right style for this page. So I don't really have a certain number of clusters. It just has the top to the bottom. So I glued down this chipboard arrow. I wanted to add more chipboard in since I had kind of the thickers there, chipboard. Yes, I did add more glue to those in case you're wondering. And I'm just playing around with all the leftover stuff. This layout went together super quick. A couple of the words I put, amazing kid, you are my happy, love this boy down. I'm going to pause here in a few minutes and I'm going to do my journaling strips just because, oh, right there is one thing I did as well. If your chipboard is too thick, like I had mentioned a minute ago, it was too thick, you can easily take something like I use my pokey tool and I just go ahead and you can take as many layers of the chipboard, pieces off to make it a little less high. So it has a little bit of dimension right now, but it's not as thick as it was. I just felt like it was just too thick for that upper area. And then I also added that admit one, that doesn't really go with the page, but it looks cute. The color is there. And then I added that arrow strip kind of on the chipboard piece, so it has some foam tape underneath it as well. And then you can now see that I have my journaling strips down, which is funny because in this video and in the still shot photo, I messed up. I think I was doing this layout when I was still taking the Benadryl. And let me tell you, don't glue journaling strips down when you're taking Benadryl. Because I realized that a couple of them were wrong because I went to read the journaling, and I'm really glad I went to read it because it didn't make any sense. And I'm like, what? So I had to pull up a couple of those strips. Luckily, they came up just fine and it worked out, but it's kind of funny. And then I did take some of the stars. You guys know I have that little bucket of wood veneer that I pulled, just dumped a bunch in that I'm making it a point to use. And so also an arrow, and I added those around the page. And then I'm going to add some of these enamel shapes and just kind of spreading the clusters more up to the corner on the top left and more down to the bottom right. So I hope you guys like this layout. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again next time. Again, there is a link below to where you can find more Cocoa Vanilla because I'm sure she'll come out with more in the future. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.